I just open up my book for appointments and I get 6 or 7 within just a couple hours, and, making $1,000 on a Saturday in just a couple hours is really great.
So should you try to learn permanent jewelry yourself or should you invest in training? Well, today I've got Shayna here with us. She is a linked permanent jewelry training student and she actually tried to train herself first. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I did. It was it was comical. So I bought the welder myself. I have the Orion, so bought that. Got the machine, bought some materials. Had no idea where the materials were coming from either. So I'm just kind of sourcing materials that are 14 karat.
Yeah.
And from July to September, I was watching videos on YouTube. I was sending messages to, to different manufacturers of the machine. Like I was doing everything, trying to figure out how to get a weld. I had I had hundreds, if not thousands, of failed attempts. I don't even want to know how much money I spent in my jump rings. But yeah, so I kind of put the machine away and I was, just gonna forget about it and give up. And I thought about it. I took a few weeks and just thought about it. And then I started searching. How can I find someone to train? I figured there had to be, I saw some like in person conferences that were, $10,000 to go for a day conference. So I finally was like, it has to be a virtual option. So I found linked training, looked into it. I looked at some testimonials. I had actually spoken with a couple students who were in the training. They gave raving reviews and they all just said, just do it. Just it'll change your business with it. So I invested. I took a couple weeks, did the training, and started practicing my welds. And after just going through the classes and the troubleshooting videos, I was able to get a clean, perfect weld in about 10 tries. So gave me a lot of hope for all the money that I had already thrown at this business.
Right.
So yeah, it was a game changer. You
That's
cannot
awesome.
do it without it.
So, is this your first business or do you have other stuff?
It is. So I am in real estate, so I do have my own team and some things that I do with my properties. So I do have that. This is my first endeavor of this kind, and also by myself. So
Hmm.
to have, for someone who's never had a business by themselves, I've always had business partners in the past. Again, I would not have been possible without Linked, without the team from Linked helping me with the marketing. And so it's not just the training, it's the marketing, it's the community, the Linked community, having all of these students that I can talk to, having you and Sarah on call if needed. I would not be able to do it without that being by myself.
I'm really happy for you because I know that like
Hmm.
that's one thing I love about permanent jewelry, like the business aspect is like, you can either do it full time or you can do it like as a side hustle if you're a real estate
Hmm.
agent. So it's just so flexible.
Yes, 100%. And that's how I've been using it. I have pop-up appointments at a local boutique that she's graciously given me her space to use. And I just open up my book for appointments and I get 6 or 7 within just a couple hours. And making $1,000 on a Saturday in just a couple hours is really great.
Yeah. So with this being kind of like your side hustle, what's been like your
Mhm.
average income the past couple months?
So average, I have been doing about 2,500 to 3,800 a month, and again, that's just doing 3 to 4 days a week. So, I mean, if you want to break that down of of hourly, then yeah, it's very lucrative
Yep, for sure. Is that 3 to 4 days per week or per month?
per month. Sorry.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah, so that's nice because you're literally doing it like 1 day a week, and you're still making
Hmm.
basically the investment of the course every single month, and so you've already made back your
Yep.
investment and more.
Yeah, exactly. And you get people that come in and sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I only scheduled for myself, but I have a friend who really wants to come with me. Can she come?" Great. Yep, bring her.
Yep,
And then
bring them on.
you got 2 bracelets for 1 appointment, or they decide they wanna do an anklet or they wanna add a necklace. So it's crazy the add-ons that you can get with it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's
Mhm.
addicting. Like I'm sure you'll have repeat customers too. Like I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I've got 4 bracelets, and Sarah says it's too many, but whatever.
The limit does not exist. There's never too many.
Yep.
That's the hard thing. I only have 1 and I want a full stack, but no one knows how to do it. Everyone I'm like, "I need to find someone that is a student near me that can put one
Yeah.
on me."
For sure. So, you mentioned the marketing materials. What kind of, can you kind of go into specifics of what really helped you?
Yep, I will say the biggest thing was the access to the photos because I when you haven't done any, you have nowhere to start. The only
Yeah.
photos that I had, I was laying out my chains in my kitchen with bad lighting, trying to just get something. It's not appealing. I'm not. It's it looks bad, and I'm telling you to come buy this. It's not. It
Yeah.
just was not appealing. Any photos that I was trying to get, and as I was trying to get events or get appointments, they all said, "Well, I want pictures," but I didn't have any. I would not have been able to launch without the photography that you guys provided. So that was the biggest piece for me. Also, the template social pieces, those were huge, especially when I launched my Facebook and my Instagram, and whenever I partnered with a boutique because I would just copy and paste those and go with it. So those were really huge.
Yeah, and for those watching or listening, what she's referring to is we have, I think it's like 15 pages full of like pre-written
Hmm.
content and posts, and you can literally just copy and paste it or customize it however you want.
Yeah, like I said, and you can't get those without having events already, so to be able to get them to get your events, again, is huge.
Yeah, so I'm sure you have some marketing experience when it comes to real estate,
Mhm.
but hopefully, like the marketing stuff that I teach in there, kind of help give you a different perspective from like a small business.
Yeah, and you especially, right around a holiday or anything where you'll have kind of themed calls where we can get on and you say,
Yeah,
"Hey, here, I'm going to teach you how to do a Black Friday thing and here's how you're going to promote it." That's really helpful because I think sometimes too, again, when you're by yourself, ideas get stale.
yeah,
You kind of get complacent. Oh, I've got appointments coming in and I don't really have to worry about my marketing. That's not true because you got to keep your pipeline full. So you are really good of when you host those classes or post anything on the Facebook group, the private Facebook group that you're doing. It's really helpful because it gives us those ideas. Again, it's like we have a team behind us, even though we are one individual person.
yeah. And I mean, one of the reasons I do that is I'm a very competitive person. I know there's other training companies out there, and also
Hmm.
people that just want to train themselves. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure the linked students are like crushing it in whatever market they're in.
Yes, yeah, and I, we are. I mean, if you go through the page, look at us versus the others. We are. There,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a testimonial. Look at the numbers of what everyone is producing and it like I said, mine was 3 weeks after I was doing the training, so it was very quick.
Yeah. Do you ever plan on taking this a little bit more closer to full time, depending on the real estate?
Yeah, and that's what's nice too is, real estate has its ups and downs, it has
Mhm.
its lulls. There's times where I'm swamped, and then there's times where I've got it's a little lighter.
Yeah.
So that is where this is really nice because it is completely flexible. I know that, there is flexibility in a lot of jobs, but this is 100% on me. If I want to add more days, if I want to add more events, or if I need to kind of scale back, I have that freedom completely. And yeah, I think that, I think that with this, you can always find somewhere to pop up and just do some appointments, but there's always events that can be done, whether they're private or with a
Mhm.
local business. And I think that's just going to continue to grow.
Yeah, for sure. So I always get asked this question. So I like to just forward the question to you guys. So did you have welding experience, before starting this?
No, I've never used any kind of tool of any kind. I don't even know how to use a screwdriver. Like, I don't, no welding experience whatsoever.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much the majority of the answers I've gotten. So yeah, no welding
Yeah.
experience needed.
Yes, no, none at all. Honestly, no experience. I was really nervous of like the steadiness of my hands, and even with that, Sarah in the video gives tips and tricks on how to position your hands or how. So there were some things I was nervous on just for, I've never really done anything tedious with my hands like that. I know there's a lot of like, lash artists, or I think of things like that.
Yeah.
They've got that skill mastered. I have never worked with my hands in that capacity. So I was really nervous about that even,
Mm.
but like I said, that's something even was addressed of Sarah's don't drink caffeine, drink a lot of water and position your hands this way when you're welding to avoid that. So
I don't know how I would do with that because I drink a lot of caffeine.
I will tell you that I can tell when I do appointments if I've had too much caffeine for the day.
So I know you mentioned supplies earlier, and when you before you joined Linked, you were like reaching out to manufacturers and trying to figure out, what's what or where to buy from. Kind of talk a little bit about that and the difference between like back then and now.
Yeah. So again, once I had this welder that I knew nothing to do with what I was doing, set that aside. Add in trying to find materials. Again, I mean, I bought from websites from all over. I Stuff was shipping from who knows what country at any point. I had no idea what material it actually was and when it was coming. And I would get it and it would look nothing like it did in the photos. So trying to source my own material was really difficult because I not only had a hard time finding it, but I also, if I'm selling it, I want to know that if I'm telling someone this is 14 karat gold, I want to know that it is truly 14 karat gold that they are buying. So,
Right.
it can hurt your brand and your reputation if you're not buying quality material. And that was my biggest thing. I didn't want to sell something at a 14 karat gold price and then find out it's, gold plated jewelry.
Mhm.
So that was really challenging. So part of me joining Linked was not only for the training and the marketing, but also having access to the inventory at the discounted rate, at the student rate. So I do buy all of my chains from Linked. So everything that I'm getting, I know that it's quality. I know, again, I know where it's coming from. I know when I can expect to that it will arrive for so I can plan that out for my
Mhm.
appointments. That's really important. I was running into that again in the beginning, so that is a huge piece of it, is having access to quality material and you know when you're going to be able to get it. And then you have accurate representation in the photos.
Yeah, for sure. Because like when me and Sarah started Linked, I was like, I want to make sure the marketing's easy for people because I know that was a big struggle with a lot of my beauty clients and my advertising
Hmm.
agency. So the marketing, I wanted to make sure people had reliable supplies because I'd already kind of experienced how the jewelry industry is it's very closed off. Like if you're an outsider, it's really hard to get high quality
Hmm.
materials, and that's why so many people go to like these random websites and just hope for the best. So we
Yeah.
always want to make sure the Link students have the highest quality materials.
Yeah, certainly. And it's very easy. Like I said, it's easy to shop. I'm all about convenience. We're all busy. I'm all about convenience of it. And again, the photography. And I will, sometimes take a couple screenshots, send it to someone if they're looking for something very specifically, and then I know that that picture that I sent them is what the chain is going to look like when I get
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to share
it. Hmm.
this video with. I've got a friend that's a real estate agent. She had been asking
Yeah.
about the training and stuff, and I'm gonna have to send this to her. And be like, hey, this could
I
be
was gonna say,
awesome.
tell it is.
Yeah.
It is. Tell her to do it. And I will tell you, I actually got a listing out of one of my jewelry appointments. So tell her
There you
that.
go. That's
And
awesome.
then I also got a jewelry client out of one of my real estate clients.
Yeah, it's funny how like even with real estate, it
Yeah.
complements each other.
Oh,
It's all
for
about
sure.
networking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah.
the cool thing I love about real estate agents is you guys understand the power of leads, the power of keeping your pipeline
Hmm.
full, and that's a whole
Hmm.
nother marketing subject. But
Yep.
you're gonna have an advantage when it comes to like sales and stuff.
Certainly. And again, tying back to kind of what I already said, that is a really difficult thing to do because it's not hard, but it takes a lot of work. So
Yeah.
for you guys to have already done that, and then we can easily kind of recycle that
Mhm.
content, making it our own, it's huge. I mean, it's well worth the investment in the training.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited you did choose Linked, and
Mhm.
I'm sure you're going to have a great 2023. And so, thank you for coming on here and sharing your tips and
Mhm.
advice and your
Of
experience.
course. And thank you for having me.
Awesome. If they want to go follow your permanent jewelry Instagram, what's your
My
account name?
It's lasting.links, LINX.
Okay, perfect. Well, all right. Thank you so much, and have a great one.
Awesome. Thank you. You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.